Welcome to Wikipedia Explained, where we cover a specific topic with a Wikipedia page every day. Today you will learn everything about toilet paper in just under 7 minutes. Make sure to watch until the end of the video so you don't miss out on the bonus information. If you learn something new from this video, leave a like or don't, whatever. Let's dive right into the most important question, which most people don't think about enough. Why do humans need to wipe their butts and animals don't? Well, this is mainly the price humans have to pay for doing something almost no other animal is able to do, which is walking upright on 2 legs. Because of this, our butt cheeks are pressed closer to each other, which creates an inconvenient space between our butt cheeks in which sweat and other dirty things can build up and give bacteria free play. Even though it is nice to be able to wipe your butt with a soft piece of paper, this was not always the case for our ancestors, given the fact that paper was only invented around the year 200 BC. Before that time, people mostly used leaves to wipe their butts, but also harder objects like shells and rocks. As long as they could get rid of the human waste, basically everything was sort of okay to use. The ancient Greeks did something similar and often used pieces of ceramic from a broken vase to scoop between their butt cheeks. The pieces could then be cleaned and reused. Maybe we should consider going back to using ceramic as toilet paper. The Greek method was somewhat similar to what the Japanese used to do. In Japan, they used the so-called kusobara, which translates to, well, shit stick. The kusobara was basically a wooden spatula or wooden ruler meant to scoop out the human waste. The ancient Romans did a better job at the time as they used the so-called xylospongium, which was an upgraded version of the poop stick with an added sponge on the end. These xylospongiums would be shared amongst others and saved in buckets of seawater or vinegar to sort of keep the place clean. However, most historians think this method caused a lot of infections, while others say that these xylospongiums were not used to wipe butts but to clean the toilets with, like a toilet brush we have today. And if you were really rich at that time, you were doing much better than the rest, because the extremely rich had access to wool soaked in a little bit of rose water, like a perfumed toilet paper roll. Like we just learned, paper was invented 200 years before Christ, which happened to be in China, but it was only in the year 600 that historians found actual reports of people who used the paper to wipe their butts with. In the 14th century, toilet paper was actually being mass-produced in China on a big scale, and here the rich had a great advantage again over others. In Europe, people were less fortunate in the 17th century and made use of mostly corn cobs to wipe. Not the leaves, but the actual cobs. It was only in the 18th century that Europe started seeing a little bit of progress. Because of the increasing popularity of the printing press, a lot of the people in Europe started using their daily newspaper as wiping material. Some decades later, the warehouse Sears started playing a big role, as they used to print the Sears catalogue, which was being pushed through almost every mailbox at the time. People then used it to, well, wipe their butts with. At first, the Sears catalogue was made out of paper material, but slowly it turned into a somewhat glossy magazine with a plastic feel to it. This change made it much more difficult to wipe your butt with, which caused Sears to receive a lot of complaints from angry customers. You might not believe it, but it was only in the year 1857 that the world started producing soft toilet paper similar to today's toilet paper on a bigger scale. So you could say that your great-great-grandmother did not know about the existence of comfortable toilet paper, another sign that you and I were born at the right moment in human history. Moving on to the considered inventor of the modern toilet paper, Joseph Gayeti, who was at first made fun of for being somewhat of a deceiver. But he saw his own invention of the modern toilet roll as one of the most important of the century, as he discovered the dangers of using newspapers as toilet paper. Joseph found that the newspapers were leaking a lot of ink near the rectum. His invention would therefore become increasingly popular over the next few years. It also gained popularity because of the invention of the flush toilet around the same time, which came in at the right moment, as newspapers were causing the toilets to be clogged. You made it to the bonus fact. The main difference between a toilet roll and a kitchen roll is their solubility. Where toilet paper dissolves in water pretty easily, the paper you find in your kitchen does not and can cause your toilet to clog. Today, a lot of people have problems with their toilet because they decided to throw in their kitchen paper. You might have been to a restroom that says, "Do not throw toilet paper in the toilet, throw it in the trash can," which is probably because they use the kind of paper that does not dissolve in water. Today, all sorts of toilet paper are being produced. There is single-layered toilet paper, which easily breaks. There is multiple-layered toilet paper for those who wish to clean their butt in comfort, and there is even toilet paper with small prints on it. During World War II, toilet rolls with pictures of Adolf Hitler were pretty popular. However, I don't know if they were popular amongst the Germans themselves, or if it was popular among the people who were not a big fan of him and would like to wipe their butts with his face. Even recently, different rolls of toilet paper have been found with the faces of George Bush and Osama bin Laden printed on them. Interesting. Today, in some countries, toilet paper is not being used at all. In these countries, they sometimes even find it a disgusting idea to wipe your butt with just paper. These countries make use of a so-called bidet, which rinses your butt cheeks with water. Now that we're already on the subject of comparing differences, people's opinions are divided about whether you should wipe from the front to the back or from the back to the front. And then there are people who advocate for standing while they wipe, opposed to those who rather stay on the toilet seat while wiping. Of course, you also have the discussion of those who fold their toilet paper and those who don't. On which side are you? Comment down below. That's it for today's topic. If you can't wait for the next video, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on tomorrow's topic on Wikipedia Explained.